Hello Rayappa YouTube fan club, I'm Xavier. I'm going to share with you a little story, fictional book that was written by Endo Shusaku, a Japanese Catholic writer. He wrote a book called Silence. The story is situated around 1600s. Japanese government expelled Christian missionaries in 1597 and killed 26 Catholics, including missionaries. And then in 1600s, beginning of 1600s, the Japanese government abolished Christianity from Japan. And the government finds a Catholic priest, a Jesuit priest, still preaching in Japan, and is arrested with his companion. And the government devises a new technique to make this missionary to renounce his faith. And the government captures 20 Catholics and puts them in a little prison and tells the priest, if he renounces his faith, these 20 Catholics will live. And if he doesn't renounce his faith, these 20 Catholics will die. And the priest's life will be spared. Now the priest goes through the agony of deciding whether to choose life or to choose his religion. And the struggle that he goes through is based on the teachings of Jesus, where we see the abundance of life that Jesus came to give, or the life that God gives us, and where forgiveness, love, compassion all flow through Jesus in his words and deeds. And the priest reflects, does my God, is my God, will my God make me pay for my renouncing the faith? And he goes through this struggle, dichotomy within his heart, and decides that he will renounce his faith publicly to protect the 20 lives. And then what happens is the plot, and I don't want to spoil the secret of the novel, but I would ask or request YouTubers, please buy and read Silence by Endo Shusaku. There's an English translation available. And we can bring that plot to modern day life. How we are always struggling to choose between what is right, what is wrong. We are conditioned by our education, by our religion, by our politics, by our cultures, the way we talk, we behave, we react, act. Everything's conditioned. And we think that this is a norm. When everyone around me is conditioned the same way, I start to think, and the other person starts to think that this is the norm. But probably there is something beyond that. We fail to see what lies beyond. And so we normally don't struggle as the priest did in the novel. But what he teaches us is, if we have a blind faith in a particular religion or culture, or even in a particular ideology, and that can be detrimental to the life of others, and that we can see in the actions of human beings, how my religion makes me feel more fanatical, more conditioned, that I see others as wrong, evil, that I need to conquer them, or I need to eradicate them. There we start religious wars. Or I see my culture as superior to someone else's culture. So then I try to impose my cultural mentality, my cultural behavior patterns on somebody else. I want to conquer that person. I don't treat the other person's culture or religion as equal as mine. And we can bring it a little more further to nature, for example. Nature itself is a culture. Nature itself is a religion. Nature itself is a work of God. And I am a work of God. Can two works of God compete with each other? Can I impose my cultural mentality on nature? Can I use my cultural superiority, what I think cultural superiority, on nature and pillage, rape the nature that is around us? So what we see is a kind of a cultural superiority that is basically in all of us, as Samuel Huntington put beautifully in his work, The Clash of Civilization. And in America, normally every 4 years, once in 4 years, when they have the American presidential election, what we see is a cultural war. They call it culture war, which is right and which is wrong. So always Christianity is brought forth and is stressed as culturally superior, morally superior, and that is the right religion for human beings. On the other hand, there are more radicals who give room to maneuver for other culture, for other religions, for other way of life, for other ideologies to exist. It's not that we are giving someone room to exist, but we must coexist. I can't impose what I think right on others. For example, what I'm talking to you on this video, in a way I'm trying to impose my own cultural interpretation on you guys. And you might think, oh, that sounds right. But it's again another indirect way of imposing or even imparting one's cultural superiority. So what I request is, let's think. Okay, now there are things laid out before me. Okay, what I should choose. I can reason out. I can choose, and I can see what is right or wrong. And then probably, I suppose, we have the right element before us that would propel us to go forward. Otherwise, there will be an everlasting dichotomy and discontinuation of the continuity that God has given us. So please read silence to go deeper into ourselves, to choose basically between what is right and what is wrong, what I must do, what I must not do, and what needs to be done should be done. So viewers, please read silence and make your own decisions, but always keep that in mind, that there is no one superior culture, religion, way of life. It's always in coexistence that we find the common ground. Thank you. Bye-bye.